When it comes to IELTS writing, you should avoid using slang and overly casual language. Instead, use words that convey your meaning clearly, avoid repetition by using synonyms and paraphrases, and incorporate academic vocabulary. In general, you should aim to show a range of vocabulary to demonstrate your language skills. At the same time, you should also write naturally. So today, I'm going to share 13 essential words that will help you improve your essays for the IELTS Writing Task 1 and Task 2. These words are perfect for describing trends, making arguments, clarifying points, and more. Let's get started. The first word we'll talk about is the verb to allocate. It's C1 English. To allocate means to set aside a certain amount of money for a certain purpose. For example, when the government allocates funds, it means they decide how much money will go to things like schools or the army. In your essay, you might write something like this. In order to tackle climate change effectively, governments should allocate more money to renewable energy projects. The second word is the verb to facilitate, which is also C1 English. This verb means to make something easier. When a new tool is introduced to help workers do their jobs faster, it facilitates their work, makes it easier by simplifying the process. Or when a teacher sets up a study group, it facilitates learning by helping students understand the material better. Here is an example of how to use the verb facilitate in your essay. Improving internet access can facilitate online learning for students in remote areas. Another C1 word is adversely. It means in a way that causes harm or has a negative effect. You can think of it as a synonym for the word negatively. We most often use adversely with the verb affect. To adversely affect, which means to affect in a negative way. For example, excessive screen time can adversely affect children's cognitive development and social skills. Or, high levels of stress can adversely affect overall well-being. The fourth word is similarly. This is also C1 English. Similarly means in a way that is almost the same as another. For example, if one student writes an essay in a detailed style, another student might write similarly, using the same detailed approach. The word similarly helps to draw parallels and is often used as a linking word to connect two sentences. As in this example, investing in renewable energy can reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Similarly, promoting energy efficiency at home and at work can help combat climate change. The most important thing to remember about IELTS writing is that it's not just about the number of advanced words you know and use in your essay. It's also about how you use them. Using C1, C2 words incorrectly can lower your score rather than improve it. That's why it's important to learn chunks of words. Instead of learning just one word, think of some typical collocations with it and write them down. Also, look at as many sample sentences as possible, as this will help you remember how to use the word naturally. To help you, we've created a useful PDF with 100 academic words you need to ace the IELTS test. This file organizes 100 academic words into groups so that it's easier to learn and use them effectively. It also includes sample sentences to show how each word is used in context. I'm leaving the link below. Feel free to use the PDF, as it can be a valuable resource in your IELTS preparation. The next word is the adjective detrimental, which is considered C2 English, but it's not as difficult as it might seem. Detrimental refers to something that causes harm or damage. When something is described as detrimental, it has a negative effect on something else. For example, pollution has a detrimental effect on the environment. The most common collocations with the word detrimental are detrimental effect, detrimental consequences. In IELTS writing, you can use this word in sentences like these. The lack of proper waste management has a detrimental effect on the environment, leading to increased pollution. Ignoring climate change issues can lead to detrimental consequences for future generations, including more extreme weather events and loss of biodiversity. Let's move on to the next word, beneficial. It's relatively easy because it's only a B2 word. Beneficial means something that is helpful or good for someone or something. Exercise is beneficial for your health, while a good sleep routine is beneficial for maintaining energy throughout the day. As you can see, when something is described as beneficial, it has positive effects or advantages. Beneficial is often used with the word effect. Beneficial effect. Let's look at an example of how this collocation can be used in IELTS writing. Regular exercise has a beneficial effect on both physical and mental health, helping to reduce stress and improve overall well-being. The next word on our list, and another C2 word, is the word to incorporate. This verb means to include something as part of a larger whole. For example, when you incorporate a new idea into a project, you are adding that idea to make the project better. Similarly, when you incorporate feedback from others, you are using their suggestions to improve your work. Think of the verb to incorporate as a more active version of the verb to include. When you incorporate something, you add something to the mix. For example, if you incorporate a new idea into your project, you're not just adding it, you're integrating it to make the project better and more complete. In IELTS writing, you might use this word like this. Educational programs should incorporate modern technology to better engage students and improve learning outcomes. Or like this. Urban planners need to incorporate green spaces into city designs to create healthier and more pleasant environments. Another essential verb is to alter. It's a B2 word and it means to change something. When you alter something, you make it different from what it was before. For example, if you alter a dress, you might change its size or color to make it fit better. It's like making adjustments to something to improve or adapt it. You might say, the project schedule has been altered to account for unforeseen delays. You can use this verb in your essay like this. Educational programs should be designed to positively alter students' behavior and encourage better study habits. If you want to learn how to use these words effectively to achieve a score of 7 or higher, organize your essays properly, and use templates to streamline your writing, join our IELTS course. We'll take you step by step through everything you need to ace the IELTS writing section in a clear and easy-to-understand way. With our help, you'll feel confident and fully prepared on test day. If you're struggling to get your target score, click on the link below and get one step closer to achieving your dream. Moving on, let's talk about proportion. The C1 noun means a part of something compared to the whole. For example, if you have a pizza and you eat 2 slices out of 8, you have eaten 2/8 of the pizza. That's the proportion you've eaten. It shows how big or small a part is compared to the whole. Understanding proportions is important for analyzing data, making comparisons, and interpreting statistics. Proportions can be large, significant, or small. Let's look at some examples of sentences that use this word. The proportion of students achieving top grades has increased over the years. The survey showed that a significant proportion of employees are considering remote working options after the pandemic. Another important C1 word is moderate. It's very useful for describing change that is neither large nor small, but somewhere in the middle. This word is useful for describing changes or conditions that are balanced, not extreme. You could write, the moderate increase in housing prices indicates a stable market. Or, moderate exercise is beneficial for maintaining good health. Some common collocations with this word are moderate change, moderate impact, moderate increase, moderate risk, or moderate exercise. Word number 11 is to level off. This B2 phrase means that after a period of change, something stops increasing or decreasing and becomes steady. Imagine a car going up a hill. When it reaches the top, it levels off and drives on flat ground. So when something levels off, it stops changing and stays the same. For example, the number of tourists increased steadily before leveling off during the summer months. You could also use it like this. After rising sharply, sales eventually leveled off and remained steady. The next word is the B2 adverb, gradually. When something changes or is done gradually, it happens in small steps over a long period of time. rather than all at once. This adverb is useful for describing changes that occur step by step. Things can improve, increase, change, or develop gradually. For example, the city's infrastructure has improved gradually over the past few decades. The company's sales increased gradually after it introduced its new product line. Last but not least is the verb to fluctuate. This is C2 English. To fluctuate means to keep going up and down, like a roller coaster. It's a great verb to use when talking about data or trends that are not consistent. For example, you might write, the temperature in the region fluctuated significantly throughout the year. Another way to use it is, the number of daily commuters fluctuated between 5,000 and 10,000 throughout the year, with noticeable peaks on weekdays and dips on weekends. The 13 words we studied today are commonly used in Writing Task 1 and Writing Task 2, and are very helpful for describing trends and articulating your arguments effectively. I strongly encourage you to use them in your writing. You'll see how easily they can be incorporated into almost any response. Thanks for watching! And as always, remember that scoring high on the IELTS test is not an impossible feat. You can do it. See you all soon. Bye-bye.